Holy shit, Rare actually went and did it. After months of moaning at them about hit-reg, the sword, the horrendous cheating scenario, and the poor server performance, Rare's come out today and dropped a load of updates on these issues and what we can expect to see very soon. This news has made me very happy and very excited to return to the game properly. It's the biggest win we've had for a while. Drew Stevens, production director for the game, spilled the tea today in the Sea of Thieves news video. Kicking off with the biggest issue for the last 5 years of this game, hit-reg has been a thorn in Rare's side for far too long. So Rare has had a strike team working on this specific issue for the last 6 months, with us even getting some sneaky updates in the last 2 patches to the game. Long range shots have had noticeable improvements on their end, and around 9 out of 10 shots will register correctly for you and the server. That sounds okay so far, but Drew goes on to say that they want to make it even better, as 1 in 10 failures is not where they want this to be. For me, it's really encouraging to have this spoken about in such a direct way when it's been reduced to a footnote on the patch notes for the best part of, I think, since Ashen Winds came out in August 2022. It could be confirmation bias, but I haven't noticed any major hit-reg issues playing the game this month. Moving swiftly on, we have a big update on cheating. Rare previously mentioned they fixed the teleport cheat issue, along with some other updates on banned accounts. Unfortunately, this hasn't solved the problem, but it has done some work into reducing the number of cheaters encountered, based on their reports anyway. And here's the kicker, while Rare are going to work reactively internally, they are also bringing an industry-leading anti-cheat. After so long and so many complaints, I'll be honest, I didn't expect this, but I was grinning from ear to ear upon hearing about this. Hourglass might be worth hopping back into, and with any luck, the new Siren Song Voyage will be free from cheaters too. Now, it's important to note this doesn't stop cheaters 100%, but a combined approach on Rare's end with anti-cheat as well, it makes cheating a lot harder than it was before. But like I said, it won't 100% completely stop the problem, but should massively improve it. Don't expect more details of when and how, it will just happen without any warning to not give the cheat developers a head start. Next up is the combat in the game. Many a point of frustration from sword lords and double gunners alike, the combat, or the hand-to-hand combat for Sea of Thieves has seen better days. Season 10 has some improvements to sword combat, making attacking and defending a better experience. Attackers who land the first hit will have the advantage and no longer will have their combo interrupted by M1 spammers. Before, sword fights would always play out like this, but for a few years now, it just becomes a game of luck with block not working correctly. It was improved marginally in Season 9, but regressed very quickly. Blocking should work as intended, where block actually feels like a viable option, rather than someone hitting you through a block when you are obviously in front of them. The feedback for hitting a player with the sword will be better too. Currently, the sword has a phantom range, where you'd feel like you're actually hitting someone outside of the range, and that wasn't the case. Or the sword would catch players who are running away. I'm very excited to be dusting other M1 spammers with my sword with a whole lot more consistency, with situations like this being much less common. And before you start whining about the sword being buffed, well, just wait and see. And to be fair, it's not all good news, depending on who you should ask, because double gunning is next on the chopping block, and you may have heard why previously for one reason or another. The technique known as quick swapping is being removed, or mostly anyway, because Rare have decided it is not intended. Quick swapping is the method of swapping guns quickly in order to fire them quicker. To quick swap, you have to shoot, swap weapons, sprint to shorten the swap time. This can be done on controller and mouse and keyboard, with the latter being a bit easier. This came from a fix for the older quick swapping method, where you could just shoot and swap and shoot in a rapid fashion before anyone else could react. This is going to be a controversial change, as it has become a technique for many higher skilled players and is part of their muscle memory. I can see the comments being split, just like the harpoon boarding method. I, as a sword lord, am very obviously against this change. Why? Ultimately, removing it is going to make swapping weapons feel slower and more clunky, in a game that has a bit of heft with it already. I'd be more in favour of removing it and making the weapon switch times smoother and shorter. On the other hand, it can be really frustrating to be killed before you even have a chance to eat something, because quick swapping does offer that advantage. For many new players, this has felt unfair. It's a tough call because it's been a technique for 3 to 4 years now, and this will undoubtedly ruffle some feathers. I'm intrigued to see how PvP plays now with these new combat changes, but I fully expect little to change in terms of the skilled players being the best at the game. And lastly, we have a new team working at Rare who is staying on top of these issues and delivering some fixes alongside seasonal updates. so I guess we can expect to see more improvements in the coming monthly patches. Quick swapping aside, I'm sure everyone can agree that these changes are a breath of fresh air, combined with some content coming in Season 10. I hope this is the end of the last 7-month period, and the game can get back on track to feel like a live service game. Remember, Season 10 is coming out in just over a week, and I'll be covering Part 1 on day 1. So what do you think of these changes? Let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.